For years, something has been quietly happening in the market. Quality has been slipping, prices have been rising, and most people didn't notice, at least not right away. But now that pressure is starting to show up in everyday decisions. Households are working harder to maintain the same standard of living, and they're starting to ask a different question. Is it actually worth it? In this episode of the Dealer Download powered by RS&I, we break down why good enough is no longer enough and how this shift is creating new opportunities.
The Dealer Download powered by RS&I.
Why does it feel like everything costs more and delivers less? That's not just your perception, and it's been happening a long time. It's the result of a slow shift that's been building for years. Products have gotten slightly worse. Service has gotten harder to access. Support has become less personal. At the same time, prices have continued to move higher. For a long time, people adapted, but now that balance is breaking. Today, we're breaking down what's changing, why people are starting to push back, and what it means for authorized dealers. I'm your host, Michael Shiverdecker, and this is the Dealer Download powered by RS&I. Let's take a closer look. This didn't happen all at once. It gradually happened. A slightly lower level of service, a slightly longer wait time, a slightly less reliable product. Each change on its own didn't feel significant, but over time they added up. People adjusted because the changes were small and spread out. That's what made them easy to accept. Prices have increased across the board. People are seeing higher costs for housing, food, energy, everyday services. That changes how purchases are evaluated. What used to feel acceptable now feels expensive. And that leads to a new question. Am I actually getting real value for what I'm paying? When you've gone too far and you start to make people question why they do what they do, you've got some real problems. Good enough worked when expectations were lower and prices were stable. But that's no longer the environment. And now people's views are starting to shift. People are looking for stronger service, clear explanations, a more reliable experience. The average consumer product now feels overpriced. Even if the overall costs hadn't changed dramatically, the perception of value has. Imagine a car manufacturer that decided to focus less on features and more on reliability, fewer bells and whistles, fewer things to break. But in return, they could confidently say this car spends more time on the road and less time in the shop. In today's market, that becomes an effective selling point because people are no longer just looking for more. They're looking for something that actually works, and it creates an opening for anyone willing to raise the standard. At the same time, another trend is developing. More people are looking for additional income, not because they want to, but because they feel like they need to. They're working harder just to maintain the same lifestyle. That leads to questions like, how do I earn more? How do I gain more control? How do I build something of my own? That's why more people are no longer looking for a job. They're looking for a second source of income. These two trends are happening at the same time. People want stronger value. They also want better income opportunities. Authorized dealers that work with RS&I sit right in the middle of both. On one side, you have buyers looking for a more reliable experience. On the other, you have individuals looking for a better way to earn. That creates a unique position. Dealers are not just selling services. They are providing solutions. They're creating opportunity. That combination becomes more valuable as pressure in the market increases. Dealers who understand the shifting demand regarding value are in a strong position. Here's your authorized dealer action plan based on what we're seeing. First, raise your standard. Do not compete at average. People are already frustrated with average. Be the stronger experience. Second, simplify the process. Buyers are overwhelmed. Make decisions easier, not harder. Third, explain better than anyone else. Understanding creates value. The dealer who communicates clearly stands out immediately. Fourth, position yourself as the upgrade. Do not present yourself as another option. Present yourself as the better path forward. Fifth, recognize the recruiting opportunity. More people are open to new income paths than ever before. That creates opportunities to grow your business through others. The market is changing, and people are no longer willing to pay more for less. At the same time, more individuals are looking for ways to take control of their income. That combination creates both pressure and opportunity. The dealers who respond by raising their standard, simplifying their approach, and focusing on real value will stand out immediately. Customers are no longer asking for more options, they're asking for something that actually works. Thanks for tuning in to the Dealer Download powered by RS&I. If you're ready to grow your business as an authorized dealer, visit rsiinc.com to learn how RS&I can help you get started. We'll see you in the next episode.
The Dealer Download powered by RS&I.